Hi, I'm Nick from Low Doll Scrap. I make sculptures from scrap, salvage, recycled and sometimes new metal. Now today's video is part 2 of the 2-part video series of me making the grandfather clock. So we'll jump straight back in. We're going to work on the coach bolts, carriage bolts, whatever you want to call them, on the frame around the clock and then crack on with the rest of it. Each one of these little square holes is going to have a coach bolt or a carriage bolt, whatever you want to call it, in there, sort of a dome headed bolt. It's going to be made to look like an old industrial rivet. So I've counted up how many I need for the framework of the entire clock, and it's something like 286. Now I haven't got 286 that are scrap and old, so I've had to go out and buy them. So I have got those here. Alright, I've got 300 volts in there now. I'm going to chuck a bit of vinegar in. Raided Asda, got all the vinegar, all the white vinegar they had. So in theory, I think I'll just leave this overnight. So the carriage bolts that I left soaking in white vinegar, left them to soak for about 2 days. I've drained all that off and neutralised with water. I guess I wasn't fast enough for getting the water onto them because they've all got surface rust on them. I don't think that's going to be an issue to get off. What I'm going to try on a few of them is just heat it up with a blowtorch till it's like glowing. Let that cool down, see what it looks like then. I think that'll be the look that I want to go for. And I'll do that 286 times. That'll be fun. This is where a forge would come in handy. So the next stage with these, a couple of them pop. Next stage is start putting them into the actual framework of the clock. So for the bottom section, I'm going to use these shorter ones. Just bolt them in because the access to the bottom section is only through one little hatch, so we can just about get your arm in. Okay, I wasn't actually going to show this part, but you know what? I think it's good that everyone sees that everyone makes mistakes with stuff and does stuff in the wrong order sometimes. I knew when I welded the back onto this that I was making it more difficult for myself for putting the carriage bolts in at the end. But I wanted to get that all welded up, more for the video than anything else, so that I could show what it was going to look like with the middle section put onto it, because I needed the strength in the back. So I'm going to put the next bolt in and show you how I'm having to do it because of the size of the hole that I left in the back for accessing bolts and stuff. This wasn't the best way of doing it. In fact, I'll show you first. So to access all the bolts, I need to get my hand and my entire arm into that, which for the top ones isn't an issue, but as soon as you get down to the bottom, it's a bit harder. So when you're in your shed or your garage or your workshop or whatever, when you're making something and it goes a bit wrong, I do this for a living and I've made this mistake. So don't feel bad. Get the back welded onto this now, get that welded on, get that the weld ground back, and then it's onto the finishing touches doing the top section and getting close to finishing now. Right, for the clock face, this is the piece that was cut out. I need to cut another piece anyway because of the lead in on the plasma cutter. The way it's designed, it starts, if you're cutting and you want this to be the finished edge, it starts on the inside of it and then comes out to that edge. So there's a little divot in the side of the piece that's dropped out of this, so that won't work as the clock face. But it's a similar size, so we can have a little mess about and see what it looks like. So, my first thought was just have it flush within the hole. Obviously cut another piece, like I say, have that flush within the hole there. But I think it's going to look really cool. I'm going to drop it, you watch. I'm going to try it. I think it's going to look cool if I set it back slightly, maybe like 10 mil, something like that. Set it back into the frame a little bit. I think that'll look really cool. It's going to give it another little added extra.
So for this next section I'm going to fill in the corner pieces for the top of the clock. Got some old bearings with the housings there to weld them together, and I can weld that then into the corner pieces on those slots. Now the sides of the clock I'm going to fill in the same as I did with the rest, with some mesh and then just steel sheet going over the top of that, just tacked in with some extra little pieces. Now the top is a cut up wood plane.
I'm going to finish this one sort of vlogger style and hold the camera with my hand, because I've got the two tripods that I've got holding up a sheet behind the clock for the reveal, so I can't use them at the minute. This piece is actually done for the guys over at AIP. It's them. Now the story behind it is Kim, the owner of AIP, his wife's granddad passed away a couple of years ago. He actually had a saying, which was, if anyone ever said to him, well, where's the time gone? He'd say tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, and apparently he was quite well known for saying this. So what Kim asked me to do was to include the words tick tock, not the app, in the clock in different places so that they can sort of discover it themselves. And by the time this video goes up, they will have seen it anyway, so they'll have seen where they are. So I'll show you guys where I've managed to hide some of them. So we've got one in behind the mesh just there. Now these ones are going to be quite difficult to see. You should just about be able to see that one. There's one in the mesh on the other side as well that's really difficult to see. I don't think the camera will pick it up. And I've cut it out of a set square there. I think that last one's just brilliant. I absolutely love it. I'm so pleased with that. I'm so glad I thought of doing it that way. Yeah, give it a really nice finishing touch. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you want to, subscribe to the channel. Other than that, have a good day.